Sucker Punch Productions was best known for the chaotic parkour of Infamous and lighthearted stealth of Sly Cooper. They were a studio defined by energy and electricity, not ancient swords and quiet honor. But in 2020, everything changed. In the middle of a global pandemic, while the world felt isolated and uncertain, Sucker Punch delivered something nobody quite expected. A sweeping open-world samurai game, inspired by the Japanese cinema and infused with reference for Japanese history. Ghost of Tsushima wasn't just a new IP, it was a total reinvention. This was Sucker Punch's most ambitious, artistic, and emotionally resonant work. And now, 5 years later, it is clear Ghost of Tsushima wasn't just a one-time masterpiece, it was a legacy-defining moment.
Set in 1274, during the first Mongolian invasion of Japan, the game lets you take control of Jin Sakai, a samurai warrior forced to abandon the traditional Bushido code in order to protect his homeland, Tsushima Island. This wasn't a fantasy world. These were real battles, real stakes, drawn from history and reimagined through storytelling. But what made it so powerful wasn't just the swords and standoffs, it was Jin's inner conflict. The man sworn to fight with honor slowly becomes the ghost, a figure of shadows, deception, and fear, and every blade he draws is another line blurred between duty and defiance.
5 years later, fans still praise Ghost of Tsushima not for what it added, but what it removed. Ghost of Tsushima did away with the usual cluttered heads-up display that seemed to plague every game. They took out endless checklists, no waypoints telling you where to go. Rather, you followed the wind, the birds, and even the smoke on the horizon. Combat was deadly and deliberate, a dance of precision. Exploration felt poetic, even spiritual. It respected your time, it trusted your curiosity, and at the heart of Ghost of Tsushima lies a combat system that isn't just about killing, it's about mastery, discipline, and style. It's one of the few open world games that makes every single swing of the sword feel meaningful. One of the game's most iconic mechanics is the standoff classic samurai duel, where tension builds as you face an enemy in a deadly game of timing. You hold your stance, you wait for them to flinch, then you strike. It is cinematic, it is brutal, and it perfectly captures the essence of the way of a samurai. Later upgrades even allow you chain standoffs, letting Jin cut down multiple enemies in just one single dramatic sequence. Jin's combat abilities are built around 4 core stands, each designed to counter a specific enemy type. We have stone stands, effective against swordsmen, water stands, ideal for enemies wielding shields, and wind stands built to break spearmen, and finally, moon stands, devastating against brutes. Each stance has unique animations, combos, and tactical uses, encouraging players to adapt mid-battle rather than just button mash. These gave combat a rhythm, a flow that rewarded awareness over aggression. The game gives you freedom to fight with honor or become the ghost. You can sneak through grass, use distraction tools, poison darts, or chain assassins in total silence. But every ghostly act pushes Jin further away from the code of his samurai upbringing. Even some of the game's most emotional bits are tied to how you choose to fight. Combat isn't just a mechanic, it is storytelling. As Jin embraces his ghost persona, his arsenal grows. Smoke bombs can be used to vanish in the midst of chaos, sticky bombs and kunais are used for crowd control, hallucination darts can make enemies turn on each other, and finally, the ghost stands, a terror-filled mode where time seems to slow down and Jin becomes nearly unstoppable. Each tool complements a different playstyle, whether you want to be a predator, a tactician, or a shadow. There is a playstyle for everyone.
In October 2020, Sucker Punch dropped a bombshell, Ghost of Tsushima Legends, a free multiplayer expansion based entirely on Japanese mythology. Suddenly, the grounded samurai drama became a supernatural co-op experience, complete with Oni demons, curses, and folklore. It wasn't just a bonus mode, it was a whole new game. And 5 years later, many still argue that Legends mode is one of the best examples of post-launch support done right. Fun, balanced, replayable, and true to the game's soul.
Ghost of Tsushima is one of the few Western-made games to receive widespread acclaim in Japan. Why? Because Sucker Punch didn't just borrow Japanese aesthetics, they respected them. They hired cultural consultants. They recorded a full Japanese dub with near lip-sync perfection. They added the Kurosawa mode in honor of the legendary filmmaker Akira Kurosawa. They built shrines and myths that felt authentic. In fact, the game's cultural impact was so significant that Tsushima Island itself honored the developers, making them the official tourism ambassadors. How many Western studios can brag about that?
After the success of Ghost of Tsushima and the Iki Island expansion, fans have waited impatiently for a sequel. And with the upcoming Ghost of Yōtei, with possibly new moral choices that expand the tension between ghost and samurai, the real question is, can lightning strike twice? Will Sucker Punch stay grounded in realism, or lean further into the supernatural lore hinted at in Legends mode? Whatever path they choose, they've built a world that players still ache to return to. Jin Sakai's journey may be over, but even if it is, his legend endures.
In a gaming world obsessed with sequels, reboots, and live service models, Ghost of Tsushima stood for something rare, a complete artistic vision, a story that honored the past while redefining open world design, a Western studio creating a Japanese epic game and doing it the right way. 5 years later, its visuals are still stunning, its combat still thrills, and its message about sacrifice, honor, and becoming who you must be in order to protect the ones you love still cuts deep. No pun intended. Ghost of Tsushima didn't just live up to its hype, it became a modern classic. Please, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell icon button, as I am desperately trying to get to 1K. And until next time, peace and love.
Incredible.